Welcome back to Instant Anime.
Just Add Music.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Sarah.
Thanks for joining us. If this is your first time listening to the podcast, this is the show where Sarah and I listen to a song and then make an anime for it.
Darn tootin'.
What we've done today is listen to the song Moonwalk by our boys, Astro.
It's been a while.
And we each took our own time, 5 minutes exactly, to write our ideas as if Moonwalk by Astro was the theme song for our own individual animes. So we did that before we even started recording.
And we encourage you to listen to Moonwalk by Astro. Or maybe you already did, maybe you don't, but if you want to know what we're up to,
exactly.
Highly suggest
Before we've recorded, we've listened to this song. We're not going to listen to it during the episode.
No.
And so it's up to you.
If you want to.
If you want to listen to it, we hope we provide a link for ease. Maybe there's a music video. Probably not. I don't think this is a single.
Fingers crossed.
Could be, though. Those Astro Boys. They're all up in the video, business. They make all the videos.
They had their web series.
But either way, we're here left with our own separate ideas. Very sad. We're happy with them. But
we think. But
they could be bad. They could be
happier
good.
Together?
They could be great if we combine them into a mega anime,
anime.
which is when we drop stuff, combine stuff from both of our ideas into one singular idea. And that becomes the title of this episode as well, because the anime we title, and
at the end
the anime is titled.
You already know what
it
is.
The
So.
episode title of this podcast is the anime title. So you get a little sneak peek into the process of, not even a process.
It's just dramatic irony.
It's just the result. It's just the result.
That's true.
So you get that, and we don't know anything. But
not yet. But
we know
will.
our own ideas, and we're going to share them now on the show. Moonwalk, Astro. Listen to it now. Listen to it later. Don't listen to it. It's how we got our vibe for this whole thing that we do. So, without further ado, I'm stealing your little Shakespearean quote there.
Totally mine, only mine.
Well, you say it in the context of the show.
I do.
I think if Shakespeare was to walk on in here, prithee,
oh dear.
without further ado, I think he would exactly say it again.
Well.
Or she. We never know, right?
Isn't there a joke that it was like a pig or something?
Yeah, 100 monkeys.
100 monkeys. There you go.
Okay, my idea for Moonwalk by Astro is as follows. A group of young college kids start their journey toward learning the ins and outs of coffee production.
Oh.
They have trips all around the world to visit all types of coffee production sites to learn the whole trade. It's like a very in-depth sort of bougie, I'm thinking, like...
Sure, yeah.
Go to not even just... like Brazil or something. You're like, you go, it's multiple countries, multiple companies involved. This is some high level college shit. I don't even know.
Okay.
So they've done that. They quickly learn, however, just how corrupt the business is when they're constantly harassed by less than savory individuals. Now, they could just give up on the trade and learn something else, but instead, with the help of their ex-military professor, they become a makeshift task force to root out any corruption in the industry that they can. So, they start small, liberating small farms and facilities from the tyrannical, corrupt gangs that control them. Then, they're able to set up a base of operations somewhere, I don't know. Somewhere. To root out the corruption at the core. They expand their missions to larger scale espionage and then take down some local powers to completely change the game. Mm-hmm. Then the next step would be rooting out the highest seated bosses who are corrupting the trade from the very top. Bum 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 bum. Us atop their ivory towers. Bum 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 bum.
Their coffee bean towers.
Because I have learned recently, there's a lot of bad stuff in coffee.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, in this anime, they fix it.
I was going to say, this sounds real, but I'm glad at the end you're saying, this is real.
Yeah.
Yeah, loosely based on real
just some
events.
stuff I've heard.
Yeah. Okay.
or like a lot of
Bring some
trades.
awareness. Yeah, there are definitely important things to look for when it comes to that, and like chocolate, and there's a lot of things.
Exactly. Chocolate definitely comes to mind in the same sort
I'm
of
sure
vein.
there are others, but those are the two in my brain that are highly linked to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and I was just hearing about some like coffee news lately, and I was like, it's in my brain now, and now
And
it's
now
out.
it's in everyone's.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I thought it'd be cool if it was just like we're like, oh, we're young and impressionable, and we want to we love like they have the passion for the trade, but they don't have any applied knowledge or whatever. But then they start learning and they learn about the corruption, and then they're able to use their smarts and college know-how and an ex-military teacher. I don't know. I threw that in because I felt like there's no. I mean, maybe there would be like military students as well, right?
Sure.
Maybe
Yeah.
a whole host of people, but the like core being a professor who
Already
did something
has that
before.
like authority figure over the
Yeah.
kids because they are the teacher, but then they also have this knowledge base.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Cool.
I think ours are gonna go real well together.
Sweet. I love it.
In fact, I'm tempted to change some words in mine, just reading it outright so that it just
If you do, you
meshes.
do. Again, I read mine and then I drop words.
I'm
I'm changing mine on the fly.
You can tell.
Oh, you can.
I'll read you mine and see if you and I have the same idea.
Okay.
So,
We'll
if
see.
I may.
Go ahead.
Alrighty. A young, street-savvy person positively rules at the racetrack. But when their success brings them too much attention, their life is forever changed. They were kidnapped as a baby. And now it becomes clear that our lucky protagonist is the missing child of a very well-known horse racing family.
Oh.
Will our rough-around-the-edges protagonists find their foothold in the newfound family, or will the strange new world prove too much for them?
Wow. There is a very similar vibe between our ideas. And they are distinctly different. But there is, I want to hear what you have, because I don't have anything concrete right off the bat. But you definitely have like a main character that would be transplanted in mine or vice versa, like.
Yeah.
I get the vibe.
Okay.
But
good.
if you have something more concrete, I'd love to hear.
Well, I was thinking in my quote-unquote street savvy, they're just like really good at gambling.
Oh, okay.
Wink, wink.
Gotcha.
So they do really well at the racetrack betting. But I feel like that could work into yours. Maybe they found out that they are part of this coffee company family.
That is corrupt?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then they have to choose,
I do like
do
this.
I, lean into that? And we can remove the street smart, quote unquote, aka gambling background if we
Right.
want. And then they have to choose between like, hey, this is actually hurting a lot of people and I should do something
Right.
about it. Or like, whoa, I'm part of this family. That's so cool. Wait, you actually have this dark secret. So we
Yeah.
could take it either way.
I think I like the idea just of sort of the street savvy gambling type. Because then you have that
That's what
sort
the beginning
of
of the song sounded like to me. Like the first bit. I
interesting.
could hear somebody like, what do they do? Is it Humphrey Bogart that like flips a coin at the bar in Casablanca
Sure.
or something? I don't know. But I could picture someone like strolling down the street, like
Yeah.
counting their winnings.
No, I
kind
like
of a
the
thing.
idea of a sort of unsavory anti-hero that is like they're benefiting from this corruption, but it's from from one step behind, right? Like they're not behind the veil. They're just reaping the benefits from it. And then as soon as they learn about sort of how messed up it is, they like are able to change sides. But they still have this gambling streak, like
They have connections that would allow them perhaps in as
yes.
not the ex-military person,
Yeah.
but just the like, oh, well, I know that when it comes to like seedy gambling, this is how this works.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling it's similar.
Yes.
Hence the street savvy.
Yes. No, I like that aspect, and I think I want it in my coffee town.
Okay.
If you want it in my coffee town.
Yeah, I was thinking in terms of corrupt coffee, maybe this kid in mine starts working at like a coffee house,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, wow, making a bunch of money because it's really like they sell the
Yeah.
coffee really cheap or what, I don't know what it is, but like making a lot of money. And then maybe the owner says like, hey, you've done really well, you should take a higher position of power, and that's kind of how they get into
That's the
it.
in.
Yeah, so maybe not so much like actual missing kidnapped child, although that trope, I don't know if I've seen it in anime, and I think it would be fun.
I think it's around.
Okay, it's just not something
I don't
I've
think
watched.
it's something we've done
Yeah.
very often, if ever. I'm not opposed.
I don't know how it works in this, though. It might make more sense if it's not a direct family thing.
So they
Or it
were
could be.
they were kidnapped away from the
Yes.
corrupt.
That, or there was like a car accident and their parents died and now their grandparent is like finding them. One or the other.
Gotcha. Okay. The only thing with that is how do we get them from coffee shop to sort of rooting out corruption with a group of
Well, if we follow my
go-getters?
blueprint, they could get media attention for like, look at they're the best coffee milk latte art person.
Oh,
They get
yeah,
featured
yeah,
on
yeah.
the internet, the news, whatever.
I understand.
And they've got those like database things where it's like, this is what this missing person would look like at age 25
Yeah.
or whatever it is.
And it's like, they match the photo
Oh my gosh, it's them.
from the milk carton.
So if we want to go that route of like discovery,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, actually, your family comes from coffee.
So I like this. So they're
Okay.
discovered by some way, maybe latte art, maybe turning a business around or something, something like that to incorporate the good with money skill.
Sure.
I don't know, something like that. And then they're not targeted, but like found by this corrupt family who's like
But it's
like
not
Fluffy.
apparent, right? They
Yes.
have a great reputation
Yes,
in the
yes, yes.
community.
It's
and
the ivory tower sort of
yes.
connections
Good.
well above the the bottom tier pushers or whatever
Yeah.
muscle that's ruining the business. And
I will say, would really pick up, I feel like, all the morning shows if the kid was working at a coffee chain thing that was actually owned by the family.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
didn't
It would be like an
realize-
internal memo.
oh my gosh, our grandson or whatever,
Yeah.
our child has been working here
Lost
and we
for
didn't
so
even know.
many years.
But you found your way back. It must be, because I said...
Something faded or
yeah, like, do they know that already? Is it like intrinsic
Yeah.
in their being? Coffee. It's coffee in their veins.
I think it makes sense that it would be, right? Just like racing
I could
was
just
in
see
yours.
all the like morning shows being like, oh my gosh, you were there the whole time.
Oh, 100%. They would pick it up and they would already be like, make the graphic. It's coffee being poured and it's, like brewed from the best of them,
Yeah.
from kidnapping to blah, blah, like they're like, this is the easiest thing I've ever
cafe,
written. Yeah.
or cappuccino. Or,
Yeah,
I don't know if any coffee drinks start with K off the top of my head, but they have the same
cappuccino
sound.
is-
yeah,
yes, is
kidnapping to cappuccino.
Cappuccino, aficionado, just all these sort of
Mm-hmm.
Italian sounding. Yeah. No, I do like it though.
Okay.
I like that
So
specifically.
they have a seedy-ish background.
Yes.
Perhaps they do gamble on the side, but they have a steady job. They work here.
Yeah.
They get discovered as, oh my gosh, you work at this company and your family owns this company magically.
Exactly.
And obviously, we're raising you up the ranks. You're coming to corporate.
Yeah.
And
Well, it's like the one reason that they wouldn't already like own a coffee shop or something is they have this not less than sort of less than savory upbringing that has led them to these other like gambling or other outlets that are not like I just do extracurriculars and volleyball and that's my life, like
yeah. I like the idea that whoever is in charge of the coffee shop is like a parental figure.
Mhm.
So, it could be like a foster adoption, whatever, that kind of a thing. But at the very least, this person has helped this kid
Yeah.
like establish
It's like
a more savory life.
yeah, because it's like the coffee shop job is really good.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of
Good
hours,
tips.
good tips, all that good stuff.
And they're talented at it.
Yes, and they have the knack for it, which gets them the notoriety.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's like, but what they were doing before, not as great.
Yeah.
It's like they had to do part-time jobs. They weren't
It's what they
they
had to
weren't
do to
happy,
get by.
and they didn't have the skills like they do with the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense that they were like, well, sometimes I gamble,
Yeah.
like a lot, and
Yeah.
and then like that's kind of how it goes.
But they maybe don't anymore. Maybe
Yes,
they've closed
yeah.
that chapter.
But they still have it.
They have the knowledge base.
Yes.
Which allows them.
Maybe they have like cool tattoos too.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
To like
Unless that's really annoying to animate, which leave
could
that up
be.
to you guys.
Or you like
It's
like a-
under the
yeah.
You have to push the sleeve up kind of a thing.
yeah, not like that many tattoos, but enough where you can like make it a point in
It's
the
a
story.
peekaboo situation.
Yes.
Yeah.
And one of them is like a cool arm tattoo where it's like a cup at the top and it's pouring into something.
Ooh, badass.
Like a reflective pool. Yeah. Hell yeah. Coffee tattoos.
Coffee in my veins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's all good. They get pulled out and promoted, and then they find out all the bad things happening behind the scenes with this
Yeah.
company that they've been involved with, but also they are technically like family
Yeah.
owned.
But they've
sort of
had
a-
this good sort of foster upbringing that
Mm-hmm.
they're like, oh, I don't like this. And then
Exactly.
they decide to change it, and then my anime happens.
And it could be, is it called a franchise when they're owned separately?
Like somebody owns the
Like the
store,
particular one? Yeah. So maybe it's a franchise thing. And
but they don't
so-
own the brand.
Yeah.
Like a Subway.
So this kid's
Pay
saying
us,
like,
Subway.
there are good people that are presenting your brand, and this is what you're doing to them. Like you're screwing them over.
Exactly.
But they're like good people. So
Yeah.
that way, nothing bad
Yeah. Well, it's like they can't.
about their parental figure.
They're like they can't consolidate that this place that they worked at is owned by people who
would do
let
X,
the other
Y,
stuff
Z.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's like they're so far removed. They know at the top. They know.
They know,
They make it happen.
but it's not hands on.
But exactly, it's very hands off. They established it that way so long ago. It's like
That's just how it is,
just how
and
it
we
is.
just enjoy the profits and
they're like,
whatever.
I'm the new kid in town.
And so then they can say, "Hey, I'm gonna be your new supply manager or whatever," and go around and fix things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And they can have advisors. They could be in college, so they could do it with college class or group of friends or whatever, like you had. I feel like that's
There's definitely a facilitated group. And I think even the coffee store employees are involved in some way now.
it could be like coworkers rather than college friends.
Yeah. Or a mix of both. Because coffee
Coffee and college just go
college,
together.
so I feel like
Yeah. Absolutely.
that's
That's totally a trope, and
Yeah.
we're going to use it.
we're definitely going to use it.
Cool.
College kid works at coffee shop. Easy.
Done and done.
Easy peasy.
Done and done.
You take the shortcut when you have it. Mm-hmm. And you know
And doesn't
it's
it
there.
taste good? Cool. I'm good with this.
It's really good.
Is there anything we've missed, do you feel, or do you feel like we're moved on to the next?
I think we got
Dare I
it.
ask, are we at title?
Well, okay, one last
All right,
thing
here
to
we
iron
go.
out. One
Yeah, yeah.
last thing.
Bring it.
Because now we have them at odds with these higher up people. Mm-hmm. Is there a resolution that isn't just like, I've seen the error of my ways and I'm fixing it? Is there like a more realistic?
For the family?
Yeah.
Probably like jail time, fines.
So
if you're
this
going
this
realistic.
person now jails a majority of their family members that found
Yeah.
actual blood family members, but
Biological family.
not known,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess so.
because they don't change. Like I feel like they just don't, because they're like, oh well, there's this whole
You
probably
knew about this.
There's probably like a
there's
couple
gonna be-
episodes where
There's a face off of like, you knew about this.
Yeah.
I have proof. Like you signed off on
Yeah.
XYZ, and they're like, it's just how it goes. It's fine.
I feel like there has to be there's the sort of run in the episodes where their notoriety increases.
Mm-hmm.
They're picked up by the CEOs, whatever, and then they're taken to like the fancy homes of these people, shown around, wined and dined, and like they live that life.
Yes.
That is not
Before they
there
know
because
why
there
it's
is
supplied that way.
There is something so satisfying to me, and I'm seeing it visually here, where like they have these extravagant days where they have the best coffee, they're served like kings, queens, all that stuff, and then they go home to their studio apartment, and they're just like, that was crazy. Like they just have to like
that's not real
unwrap
life.
a day, And there's something satisfying to me about that.
Yeah.
Because that you could immediately empathize with.
And I really want them to give their newfound family members a chance.
Yes.
To say, I found proof that you're doing this. Like, you signed off on this. And then they're like, that's just how it is.
Yeah, and they're at the country club.
Yeah. It's like, now's not the time. Let's just go talk to, they just
I've got 9 holes,
off.
calling my name, and they hop on
Bye.
a golf cart and speed off.
Yeah. And so the protagonist gives them a chance to like make it right, to come clean, to change things. And when the family says no, that's when they jail them. It's not just to jail them.
There is a build up to it.
That's when they turn them over.
Yes. I think that definitely is the resolution, though. I do have the scene. It's this older curmudgeonly guy, and he's at the golf course, and he puts his ear up, and he's like, you hear that? That's the holes calling.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's like, what do you hear? What are you listening to? And it's like, the holes. The golf holes.
They're sure singing loud this morning.
Yeah, whistling through the hills. And he putts off. Horrible asshole. Hate him. Hate him already. This is some succession level shit. Haven't watched that show.
One. Sorry.
I've heard they're all horrible people. But it's like I've heard it's a good show, but they're all horrible people.
You gotta know that going in, I feel like.
So
you heard it here first.
You heard it here, folks. Show we've never watched.
That's what we've heard. Yeah,
I think we are a title, though.
I think so. So
I just needed that.
I think we need a coffee word and
a corruption word, or like a. What do you think?
Yeah, we could do corruption, or I was thinking like family.
Or the title is corrupted coffee, coffee corruption.
Coffee corruption.
Yeah, but I think the yes, coffee word, corruption word.
Okay.
All right, you want to do a coffee word first or a corruption word?
I'll start with corruption.
I'll do a coffee word. 3, 2, 1. Bean.
Lawless.
Lawless bean.
The lawless beans. It sounds like a cat foot.
Oh, that's cute. I imagine a Western, but all cats.
Yes.
Cool. But not cats. Like.
No, like felines.
Like feline.
Not the
musical.
Broadway. Yeah.
Switcheroo. 3, 2, 1. Mean.
Cafe.
The Mean Cafe.
Welcome to the Mean Cafe. No,
we serve a mean cup.
And show. I thought of 3 really bad titles.
Okay, let's hear them.
All right.
Here, give me one, and I'll give you my other words that I thought of.
Okay.
Yep.
Using the 2 that I supplied, Cafe O Lawless.
Oh, yes.
It's real bad.
That's something. My second pair of words was venti and vilified.
Oh, I like that. You know I'm a sucker for alliteration.
Yeah. Mean bean and venti vilified.
I couldn't decide if it should be good till the last drop or bad till the last drop.
That's 2 titles.
It could just be till the last drop, I suppose.
Nah.
And that's probably actually like a brand tagline situation, so we probably wouldn't want to use that.
No, I do have another word. Grind.
Oh, okay.
It's got to do with like climbing the ladder.
Are you ready for my
coffee.
last terrible one?
Yes.
Pour over justice.
Yes.
So bad.
Excellent.
I didn't know.
Filter the justice.
In thinking about this, are we upfront with the fact that the family's corrupt, or do we want to like hide that in the title so that it's found out later in the series?
I feel like it has to be. Oh yeah, it's like
because otherwise it's not really a surprise.
They find out the company's corrupt, and then they bring it up to the family, and the family is like, "Oh yeah, we know."
Yeah. And
then they're like, "Oh well, that sucks. Are you gonna fix it?" And they're like, "No."
Yeah.
I hear the holes calling.
They're sure going. But I feel like if we say like bad people, the title, like it kind of ruins that surprise.
The back nine calling. I don't know golf. Yeah. No,
So-
I know what you're talking about.
So maybe corruption word as
Was
a title
not
word,
the
maybe not the right.
correct choice.
Yeah.
I think it got us on the right sort of track for trying to hide corruption in a word, though.
Okay.
Like mean. Like a mean cup of joe, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could do that, and then actually the whole time, it's mean because it's corrupt.
But not to ask you your question, is mean a title word?
Could be if it has double meaning.
Meaning.
Like a mean cup of joe and mean muscle men.
I getcha.
Yeah?
Could we work off of bittersweet?
Sure, the
bitterness of the
flavor
coffee,
of the coffee.
the sweetness of being reunited, but also like the bitterness of being reunited with a corrupt ass family.
It could be like a bittersweet family reunion.
Yeah, I'm also thinking, would it be really anime to do bitter/sweet?
That'd be very anime.
We could even do double line, bitter dash
Dash, dash.
slash, not dash
Slash.
sweet.
Yeah.
That's my thought.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Is the title just bitter/sweet?
If you're cool with it, that is what I'm suggesting.
It's pretty good. With the slashes.
It's got a double meaning.
Otherwise, the title is just bittersweet, and that's not an anime.
No, it'd be all lowercase with like a period at the end in some fancy script and not anime at all.
That's actually the name of the cafe.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yes.
Yeah, it's one and the same.
And it's in like a typewriter font.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Otherwise, I think we have the title bitter/sweet. Who are
Yes.
you in bitter/sweet?
Probably just a patron.
Yeah.
I would be more than happy to have heard about our talented protagonist and go and be like, can you draw...
Do the thing.
What do you ask?
The panda.
Can you paint? What do you ask them to do? Can you make? I guess.
One latte art, please.
Can you make a XYZ and just, implement something?
Can you draw my dog?
Yeah, can you make a picture of my dog?
You're holding up a dog.
Here's the dog. And then if you wanted to also be there and you're like, wait, I wanted a dog. And then we're like, oh, meet my dog.
Cute.
This is my dog. And the dog likes you.
Lick.
Lick.
There you go.
Pup cup.
Pup cup.
Pup
Puppuccino.
cup. Puppuccino happening.
There you go.
And that's our meet cute.
Yeah, so you go, can I get a latte art of my dog? Holds up dog.
Holds
I
up
go,
dog.
I love your dog. And you're like, sorry, in a puppuccino. And you're like, you love my dog?
And there we go.
And I go, and I'll pick up her tab. Also, give me a venti vanilla.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's good.
We get to order and meet each other, and a doggy licks you, and all is well.
And they're like, we don't have a 20
Just
milliliter? What does he want?
He's obviously in love. Just let him go.
Just give him a big ass coffee.
Cool. So we're in it.
We're in it, and the title is bitter/sweet. Which way is the slash? That way?
That's not great for podcasting.
Which way is it? This way or that way? It'll be in the title.
You guys
know.
will figure it out.
I'm just thinking out loud here.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, that's the end of this podcast. Instant anime.
Just had music.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Sarah.
I was like, look here.
Look here.
Look
slash
here.
slash.
Slash. Which way does it go? But that'll do it for this episode. We have a Twitter. We're at the end of the episode, so I'm going to plug the Twitter. Sarah's going to plug the website. So
And
I'm
then
going to
we're
start
going to
with
ask
Twitter.
you to rate and review.
Yes, look.
It begins.
That's you can stop playing right now, or you can listen to us talk just a little bit more.
And his outro.
Here we go. And the little outro. If you've
like
never
the
heard
outro.
it goes boo boo. And the Twitter, again, last time, is...
You got this. Look, this is what it is.
It's at Instant Anime Pod, where we post GIFs teasing upcoming animes. And otherwise, we just use it to pin the tweet for the suggestion form, where you can suggest a song like Moonwalk Astro, or very unlike Moonwalk Astro.
Yeah, that's
any
also-
song you want that you want to become the next anime hit, like bitter/sweet. That would be how you would do it. Otherwise, we have a website.
Yes, we do. It's instantannie.may. You can check it out. It's where we host, so it has clickable links in the episode descriptions and a bunch of things in the sidebar, as well as the suggestion form Jimmy mentioned. You can also find it there. And podcatchers and Redbubble, and I think that's just about it.
That's going to do it for this episode. Last thing, if you do want to review us on your favorite podcatcher, that is the best way for us to reach more people and show them our animes and to get more suggestions, which is where I was just trying to build that up so we can knock it all down.
Yep.
Like a Jenga of musical suggestions. But that's going to do it once again. This is Instant Anime.
Just Add Music.
I'm Jimmy.
I'm Sarah.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.